and welcome back to the Roger's channel. And guys, we are back at it with another amazing video. This time being the Walgreens exclusive Star Wars Black Series Clone Trooper 187th Battalion from the Clone Wars line. So yeah, check out the front of the box here. Of course, this is like your standard sort of like packaging is like that. But besides the packaging, the figure in general, it's been a while since I reviewed something from Walgreens, so it's kind of cool getting to showcase this finally. Haven't opened this guy up since, so of course you do get the Star Wars Black Series logo, the figure, and the accessory shown in the window, the name of the line he's from, and his name on the bottom. And then on the side, you of course get this beautiful artwork shown right here on the side mural. And the cool part is if you have other figures from the same lineup, you can create a mural. So here's the Clone Trooper right alongside Darth Maul. Check out the back. You get a bigger portrait of the character, a description of the character, the number which it falls into the lineup, and some warnings down here. Here's the side of the box, bottom, and the top. But I'll go ahead and get him out, and we can go from there. Here he is, out of plastic. And here he is, out of the packaging. And checking out the trooper, he looks pretty cool. I'm not very familiar with, the battalion or the Jedi that runs this battalion, but I like the paint job. It's kind of like this, I don't really know, not a maroon, but it's like this darker brown. And then I like the sort of like, I don't know, sharper edged paint job that he has. But besides that, let's go ahead and start from top to bottom. So looking at the helmet, of course it is your standard looking sort of like phase 2 version of the Clone Trooper helmet. Besides that, it does have that awesome paint job right here with some of the markings. There's markings right here, markings on top of the visor, and markings on top of the helmet right here. But it's really cool. Like I had mentioned at the beginning, I like how this paint job is more sharper looking. And then of course there is the black coloring right here in the visor. And yeah, looks really neat. As far as the articulation goes, he does have one of those unpainted heads right there. So you get some pretty decent motion, side to side, back, and forward. Check out the torso. Of course, he does have this chest plate with the amazing paint job running down right here into the lower waist. Here's the back. You do get some more of that awesome paint job shown. And then, of course, it is the sort of like phase 2 chest plate. And right here, he does have some movement in the lower waist. So here's side to side, back, and forward. Looking at the arms, the arm does stick out pretty good. It does go all the way around. There is a butterfly joint, which is really nice. The elbow joint goes up about there. He has a swivel and a swivel right here at the wrist at the hand. The other side as well. Arm sticks out about there. Goes all the way around. Butterfly joint. The elbow joint. Where are you? It does go... Oh, where are you? Ooh, this one was kind of interesting. Goes up about there. Of course, the swivel. And the swivel at the wrist at the hand. And I love the paint job shown right here on the arms. Really, really cool. The sort of like paint job right here has a lot more wear and tear than the other parts. But I love how, of course, the shoulder pads are made of the more looser plastic. So either, there's more mobility, which I do appreciate. And then the sort of like elbow guards are also made of a flimsy sort of like looser plastic. So it's really nice to see that they are accommodating for that articulation. Taking a look at the waist now. Of course, he does have that utility belt with the little pouches. And then, unfortunately, there is that grenade, but it does not come off. Check out the legs now. he does go into a full-on split. He is able to sit down right there, and then the legs go back a little bit farther in that. Checking out the other parts, he does have a sort of like swivel in the thighs. Looking at the knees, his knee joints go above a kneeling position. And then that too, I forgot to mention. I do like how this trooper has pinless joints, so it makes it more realistic. And I also like how the knee pads are made of like that also, like the band part, a looser plastic, just so that way you could have more mobility in the lower knee. And then take a look at those boots. They do point down, they point up, and there is a swivel, so it's a pretty good articulation. And then, of course, last but not least, you do get that amazing paint job. And lastly, checking out the accessory it comes with. It's the sort of like standard rifle. Check out the rifle. Of course, this is like the standard issue one that they come with most of the time. So it comes in this black color, and this is like the medium version of the rifle that they mainly use. And yeah, guys, check this out. I love the articulation already, and I'm definitely gonna be talking about that in the overview, but I posed him in like a kneeling position. Look at that. That is so cool. And I like it because it utilizes a lot of the articulation in those knee joints, which I do like. So look at that. You get a steady pose. There's no stand or nothing helping him with the support. This is all on the figure. So that is really cool. Achieving poses like this. Heck yeah, I'll take that any day. And now going over the figure in the overview. He's pretty cool. At first, it's kind of like one of those oddball type of characters that, is a Walgreens exclusive. But nonetheless, he is pretty decent. That caught me off guard really quick, especially with the articulation and the overall mobility of the figure. I really do like it. And the accessory, of course, it is just the single blaster. He doesn't come with multiple. But overall, not too bad. And again, I'm not too familiar with this type of like battalion from the clone army, but nonetheless, it's a clone trooper at the end of the day, so of course you're gonna add it to your collection. I'm not sure what the resale sort of value is for this guy nowadays, but this is a figure that released back in 2022. So not sure where the value in that market's gone, but if you can find it for a decent price, definitely pick them up. And then of course I like to do this at the end of the video, but this is how I like to display my figures, and I show you guys an example. So usually I'll put them, right here with the box at the back and the figure in the front. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me for more, and I'll catch you all on the next one.